This episode of FineScale Modeler's new product rundown features Trumpeter's USS Texas, Hasegawa's Ki-61 Tony, Roden's Bristol Britannia, and Polar Lights' Romulan Bird-of-Prey.
Welcome to New Product Rundown, FineScale Modeler's twice-monthly preview of the latest modeling goodies. I'm Aaron Skinner.
And I'm Tim Kidwell. First up is a ship that has been on FSM's most wanted list since its inception in 1994, the USS Texas.
It's little wonder people want to build the Texas. Commissioned in 1914, the 27,000-ton vessel performed convoy escort duties during the First World War.
And then in World War II, its 14-inch guns supported operations Torch and Overlord, as well as the invasions of Iwo Jima and Okinawa.
Since 1947, the ship's been moored at San Jacinto State Park near Houston as a permanent museum.
In the box, Trumpeter's 1/350th scale Texas looks like a fitting replica. It's a full hull model.
The hull is divided in half along the keel with good shapes and strakes, but slightly exaggerated weld seams. Nothing a little sanding can't tame.
Heavy bulkheads keep the 16-inch long hull rigid.
The deck parts show lightly engraved plank detail. The number of gun tubs indicates the kit represents the ship late in World War II with full anti-aircraft armament.
Many of the superstructure and bridge section components are slide molded. The parts show good detail on the surfaces and thin railing edges.
That quality extends to the shafts and props under the hull and stacks topside.
Small parts, such as the masts, searchlights, defensive guns, and davits, are very fine with small attachments.
The 5 turrets feature slide-molded casemates and individual gun barrels with hollow muzzles.
There's a lot of photo-etched metal in the kit. In fact, there are 4 separate brass frets, although 2 are identical.
They provide everything from catapults and cranes to ladders and railings.
There are also parts for the guns, radar, masts, and even some structural components.
There's copper chain for the anchors and clear parts for the 2 Kingfisher scout planes.
A small decal sheet provides markings for the aircraft, hull numbers, and a name for the ship's stern, and optional flags.
The color diagram shows Texas in measure 21 camouflage with overall navy blue and deck blue decks.
That's a lot of model, and it's of an important ship. It's great to see it in large-scale plastic.
Now, a few episodes back, we made reference to the Ki-100 being a tad unattractive.
Something about an ugly stick, if I recall.
Yeah, that seems about right. Well, this is the Ki-61, the original airframe, much prettier.
This is Hasegawa's 1/48th scale kit of that sleek aircraft. It was the only Japanese fighter to have been mass-produced during World War II with an inline water-cooled engine.
The Tony, as it was known to the Allies, first flew in 1941 and served throughout the war. More than 3,000 were produced.
This isn't a new kit for Hasegawa, but it has all the hallmarks of the company's best models,
including very fine engraved panel lines, rivets, and fasteners.
The detailed cockpit features sidewall inserts, floor, seat, controls, and panel with decal dials.
A one-piece lower wing establishes dihedral.
All control surfaces are molded in the neutral position. 2 drop tanks are provided.
Separate exhausts and prop blades finish the nose.
Clear parts provide a closed canopy, gun sight, and landing light cover.
Decals give markings for 3 colorful Tonys from the 244th Sentai in late 1944 and early 45.
But wait, there's more. This limited edition kit also includes a 1/48 scale Type 95 4-wheel drive sedan.
It's about 2 inches long but crammed with detail, including a nice chassis and drivetrain.
The scale fidelity of small parts like fenders and frame is sharp.
There's a reasonable representation of the air-cooled 2-cylinder engine and 3 seats inside.
Optional parts allow the convertible top to be modeled up or down.
Driver and gunner figures crew the little car.
Finally, the kit includes a beautifully cast resin pilot to stand next to the fighter.
Basically, it's absolutely everything you need for a nice airfield diorama.
Staying with aircraft for a moment, let's take a look at Roden's 1144 scale Bristol 175 Britannia.
Powered by 4 turboprops, the fast Britannia was capable of carrying between 74 and 139 passengers, depending on the version.
Engine problems slowed development, so the plane ended up going head-to-head with early jets.
Only 85 were produced, but it's an important aircraft, and it's good to see a kit in standard airliner scale.
Molded in medium gray plastic, Roden's kit represents the longer model 300 series.
Fine recessed panel lines and doors mark the parts. Open cabin windows line the sides of the fuselage.
Strips of clear windows are designed to fill those. The windshield incorporates part of the forward fuselage.
The wings have nice surface detail and include large sections of the nacelles.
Some modelers may be taken aback by the shallow wheel wells, but you won't see much once the model is on the ground.
The landing gear legs look good for the scale, and there's hub detail on the wheels.
The engines, much like their full-size counterparts, don't show much detail up front.
Decals provide markings for a single BOAC Britannia.
Astute observers will note that the registration on the box top and painting instructions doesn't match the decals. Roden originally provided markings for a shorter Series 100 airliner.
After the mistake was brought to their attention, they fixed it on the decals.
Good on Roden for that response. Now Tim's going to say I sound like a broken record here, but I can't wait to build this. Speaking of boxes that Aaron can't wait to get into, let's take a look at Polar Lights' 1/1000th scale Romulan Bird-of-Prey.
Now this is the original series Star Trek ship seen in the first season episode, Balance of Terror. Great episode.
It's a simple but terrific design, and it's great to have an accurate model that matches other Trek ships from Polar Lights.
That simplicity, plus the fact that it's a snap-it kit, makes for a quick, easy build.
Comprising just 14 parts, the kit is much more accurate than the old box scale offering from AMT.
The hull shows tapered edges and stepped upper surfaces.
The windows are raised on the upper surface, but not on the edges, a concession to molding complications.
Clear parts are provided for the front sections of the engine nacelles.
And there's a stand with a metal rod that fits into the stern.
The striking bird livery is reproduced on the kit's decals, and the lower half of the box has some nice color diagrams to complement the painting instructions.
Very cool. Look for reviews of the Texas and the Britannia in upcoming issues of FSM.
And you can see more new products in the November issue, on sale October 6th.
Thanks for visiting FineScale.com. I'm Tim Kidwell.
And I'm Aaron Skinner. Goodbye, Tim.
We'll see you next time. That's a lot of shit.